Hey everybody, thank you for watching Weekend Garage. So, today we're going to follow up on my buddy Jake's Jeep project here. If you all remember, last year around this time, I came down and took a visit and met with him and his dad Dave, and we were kind of looking at what they were doing. They were beginning to disassemble this Jeep.
Okay, so we got some good progress today. We basically got this whole frame just kind of sanded down, stripped down, and God bless California, man. This in the San Joaquin Valley, this guy had really little to no rust. It was really just all surface rust. So we're in really good shape on that guy. And Dad got got this axle stripped down and just got it primed for now, just so it'll stay clean. Didn't really get any work on this guy today, but we got to still strip, a few of these brackets. We're going to probably get the leafs back on and get the axles under it and just kind of start, getting a feel for how it's gonna look. Okay, so got the tub, built these little frames to get the tub up and out of the way. And the idea is we can just I've got this small, we're just doing all this on the side of the yard. So this is our situation. So trying to make the most of space. So got the tub up and out of the way and hopefully be able to just slide the frame with the axles, kind of mocked up and on the leaf springs, slide that underneath when we're not working on it, give us a little more space. But this is the frame. It's looking good. Got that side primed. Gonna slide that over and finish the rest here in a little bit. And the goal is to get this all sort of, all the rust off of it and primed, and then just kind of get it, mocked up in place. Got the stock leaf springs back over there somewhere-ish. And we're just going to use those for now and see if that height, we're going to do new leaf springs at some point, but just kind of see if that height will work to get like some 37s or maybe 40s, 40-inch tires underneath that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So getting this thing primed for now and then probably just let it sit. For now, we're just going to use the stock spring hangers and stock springs for now and just kind of get that mocked up. I was going to say, I don't know if I caught this in the last video, but man, this frame was so good. I feel like ever since we've started down the YJ project, looking around, it seems like there's a lot of frames out there that are just toasted, need a lot of work. We're super lucky. This guy is really clean. I mean, other than just like some surface rust, it is super clean. Like even the back of this and underneath, it's pretty pristine. So lucked out with that. Still kind of just grinded everything down, try to get it cleaned up. And we did the primer, and then we're probably gonna do that like Eastwood coating or some kind of coating, whenever we get everything like mocked up. So anyway, yeah, lucked out with this frame. Okay, got a little bit of progress on the Dana 60. So basically just had to delete two brackets. There's one down over there, and then there's another one on this side that we already checked. But yeah, I've seen guys use these same spring perches. So I want to just see if we might be able to use those. If not, then we'll have to get some others and figure that out. Right now, or we're going to basically do the same thing we did to the 14 bolt, just flat wheel this and get it down to bare steel.
But take a look at it now. And Jake, you want to tell us a little bit about what's been going on over the last year?
Yeah, man, we a lot has happened. We have gotten this thing completely stripped down and taken apart, and learned so much along the way. But basically, we learned real quick that this stuff is way more expensive than we thought it was going to be. So,
Straight up.
yeah, so you're like, my budget has kind of driven the pace of the project. But yeah, I mean, we got it. Basically have it stripped down to the frame. We spent a lot of time just kind of prepping the frame, grinding off all the rust. Thankfully, being in the Central Valley here in California, man, it's really dry and the frame was in great shape. It's an 89 Jeep YJ, and there was not a ton of rust to contend with, so that part was really good. So really the next step, I'm really trying to just get the foundation done. We got some axles, so getting those in underneath the leaf springs, and just kind of seeing how everything's going to sit. And then from there, we'll probably go to motor, transmission, transfer case, all that stuff, and kind of take it from there. So yeah, right now we're just kind of focused on frame, suspension, and axles.
All right, Jake, what's that thing laying on the ground there in the front? Talk to me about that.
So this is, man, along the journey of this project, like this is our first build, so we're learning everything as we go. And so you're discovering manufacturers and just little niche like builders, guys that are in shops that are making stuff. I came across Motobilt, and for all of you Jeep guys, this is like old news to you. Motobilt's like, I've learned they make a ton of aftermarket adapters and all kinds of little like kits and stuff for Jeeps. And this kit came from them. So basically, one of the things that we're trying to do, we want to put like big wheels and tires on this thing, and we just want it to be like look and be ridiculous. And so we want to do a V8. We want to probably do 40-inch tires, and so we knew that we needed big axles for that. So we went down that road. But then as we're kind of like working through things, the Jeep wheelbase is really like short, and so a lot of guys talk about if you want some more stability, especially on the highway, if you can stretch that wheelbase a little bit, then that gives you a little more stability on road and off road. So Motobilt makes a kit. This is their full width axle kit, and by the way, this also allows you to drop a full width axle in a YJ. And so this kit has basically moves the front spring hangers forward a bit, and this section, it's a shackle reversal kit. So the shackles are in the back, so we'll drill a new hole into the frame that's a little forward from the original spring hangers in the rear, and we'll drop some new spring hangers in the back. So basically, with a new setup, we'll get 2 inches of stretch forward, which will help fit those bigger tires underneath the wheel well and all those things. So, yeah.
Looks like it's been stripped down. What all did you guys do?
Man, we once we got into it, we were like, let's just go all the way and strip it down to nothing. And so we basically grinded it all down, just flat wheeled everything. And and then it's basically primed right now. But like I said, it was fairly minimal rust, but it took us a full 12 hours of just grinding and flat wheeling this thing. And there's a few spots, in the corners and underneath these body mounts that we're gonna have to try to get clean. But otherwise, it's in really good shape.
Gotcha. That's a beefy differential you got there in the back.
Yeah. So the back came out of a 2006 Chevy 2500, and this is a GM 14 bolt. It's a full float axle. It's a 10.5. And what's awesome about these is you snap an axle on the trail or whatever. You just pop this out, pull out the axle, drop in a new one without even taking the tire off. It's pretty sweet. And the cool thing is this lug pattern is 8 by 6.5, and so it matches the 8 by 6.5 of the front. So it's kind of funky, like having GM in the back, Ford in the rear. But it was a cheap axle. I got it for $1,000
Nice.
From a junkyard in Lancaster, and yeah, it's a killer build. So the guys at American Off-Road, can't say enough about those guys. They're awesome. If you're in like the Central Valley, South Central Valley, go talk to those guys. But they re-geared it. They put a mechanical locker in the front, and we did a mechanical locker in the back, or in the back as well. So I think it's a Grizzly in the front, maybe a Yukon in the back. But yeah, it's killer. The U-bolts and spring plates, those all came from WFO Concepts. And another really cool thing, the spring perches down here, these are adjustable spring perches from WFO, and they're really sweet, especially for like hot rods where you're trying to just nail that wheel position in the wheel well. It can adjust forward or backward from that spring like mounting location, like a good inch or two.
Nice.
Either way. So basically that'll help us move the axle back maybe 1.5 inches or so, and then we'll probably have to shave some of this a little bit to be able to fit 40s underneath this thing. So
All right, so Jake's getting this axle rolled out, and we're gonna talk about it. Why don't you let me give me some info on this axle here, some additional information.
Yeah, so this came out of Ford F-250, 1978 Ford F-250, and it's the Snow Fighter version, which I guess was the trucks that they would put like snow plows. They'd adapt like a snow plow to the front of it or something.
Nice.
But killer axle, and really, like, from what I've read, is like in the 90s and even the 2000s, this was like the go-to like leaf spring axle. But you can't find them anymore. Like, they're really tough to find, and they're really expensive. So I found a guy in Massachusetts. I couldn't find anything local. Like, I couldn't find anything like in California whenever I was looking. So I just found this on eBay from a guy in Massachusetts. So bought it from him and got it here. And basically, it's 1978. It's got like years on it, so it's got a lot of rust. And so we've been kind of working through and getting all of that clean and scraped off. But the gentleman I bought it from definitely just kind of threw that coating over the top of it without giving it a whole lot of love. So we're going to kind of strip all of this back down to bare steel and give it a good coating, just so it's sealed and protected. But I will say, learning a lot of this. So this is a Ford Dana 60 Kingpin, and so down here on these knuckles, the Kingpin is right here, and so basically there's like a little spring in this Kingpin, and a lot of guys will say that spring is great for a 30-inch tire, but if you put something big on it, it's just too much, and that's when you get that like death wobble. So down the road, as we keep doing this, we're going to replace the knuckles. I'm looking at some reed knuckles, but they're expensive and my budget is not, unlimited. So looking at some reed knuckles and probably do some high steer arms on the front of this. And then we'll do like a spring eliminator. So basically the spring will go away. So it's just, solid steel and there's no play. And then we're probably, with those bigger tires, going to do some sort of full hydro setup on the steering, just to give it extra stability. And so it just turns easy. So yeah, that's the plan for those. Basically everything outside of the inner seat is probably going to be needed to be replaced.
So, gotcha. Jake, what's going on with the body itself? What are your plans and what are your thoughts?
Man, we're still I'm probably a long way away from body. We're trying to, like I said, we're trying to just get the foundation dialed, but I do got some ideas. I love the idea. I kind of want this thing to just be a tank. And I've got kids, and I just want it to be something that can just be beat up, and I don't have to worry about it getting beat up. And so a lot of guys will do the bed liner in the tub, in the interior of the tub. Talk to a guy about maybe doing that. I do want to paint it. But honestly, I'd love to just get it driving, where we can, take it out and have fun. So the interior, that'll probably be one of the last things that we do. But definitely thinking maybe like a bed liner or something on the inside, and then we'll probably paint the outside.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, so we got one more thing to cover. What do we got going on here, Jake?
So in the back, with that big Chevy 14 bolt axle, it's just a bigger differential, and even the diff cover is bigger and stuff. And we're actually nudging that axle back a couple inches with those adjustable spring perches. We had to do something with the gas tank because there was an original Dana 35 axle in that Jeep. It was way smaller, and you could it would clear the stock tank. Well, with the new axles, it's going to be too much. It's going to bump it. So we ditched the stock tank and picked this up from Motobilt. And so it basically comes with an aluminum tank. I think it's about 15 gallons. And then this skid plate is steel. And so basically we'll probably end up, just rattle canning the skid plate and then going from there. Cool thing about this tank is the top of it, actually they basically made it to adapt so you can use all of your stock fuel pump and all of your stock stuff to be able to adapt from your stock tank to this tank. So Motobilt is killer for this stuff.
Nice. On that subject, what's next? What are gonna be your next steps for this build?
Yeah, we're trying to just get everything done from like the frame down. So I got to do a little bit more cleanup on the frame, and then probably the next like big step is getting that front bumper on. And I got to get the new spring hangers in. Basically getting that full width axle kit from Motobilt, getting that installed is probably going to be the next step. And then we'll do the tank in the back, and that'll give us enough to at least get like the wheels mocked up, like see where like the ride height's going to land and stuff. That'll be really helpful. So probably front bumper, and then we'll do the tank. And then from there, I gotta find some wheels. So if anybody knows of any 8 by 6.5 wheels anywhere out there, I gotta find some wheels and tires. And then we'll move to motor, transmission, transfer case, all of that stuff.
Cool. Looking forward to it. So everybody just stay tuned, and I'll be following Jake's build here. So thanks again for watching.